Hi, I'm Sean Winchester. I'm a session drummer based out of Los Angeles. I have played drums for such bands and artists as Everclear, Buckcherry, Leon, and many others. We're here at my studio, the Winchester Wolf Den. We're going to be taking a look at how I record drums just like I would any other day here at my studio. The reason I've set up my studio is really out of necessity. The industry is constantly changing and more drummers and musicians in general are finding themselves needing to do sessions on their own. I found it to be a super fun and very necessary thing for me to get myself into. I get contacted to record drums for people for a variety of reasons. It could be because they are too far away to work in person with me, but they do like my drumming. It could be because their budget doesn't allow them to be in a big studio yet, or because they need demos recorded to then be presented to a label to then go into a bigger studio later. A basic rundown of my gear. I just run out of Logic Pro X. I use the Audient ID44 as my interface. All of my preamps now are Audient, so I have the ASP880 and the ASP800. I'm really interested in really true and clear, uncolored preamps. After being able to hear the difference between the coloration of an API-style preamp and then just your typical interface converters and like their stock preamps, and then the Audient preamps, what I noticed is that everything was really true and clear, and I just didn't want to think about it anymore. So I was just like, okay, Audient preamps, like just from the top down, just start with that. I don't need coloration because everyone I'm gonna be sending my drum tracks to, they'll be coloring it on their own. So the way I have my mics set up, I've grown really in love with the Lewitt LCT 340s, which are a small diaphragm condenser on the two rack toms. They have outperformed any dynamic mic, even like 421s and all that kinds of stuff. Those are for the rack toms. This Warm Audio W14, it's supposed to be a clone of a 414, but I just think it's like stands alone as a great large diaphragm condenser for a floor tom. And then my trusty Zen Audio modded 57. It's just got a modded transformer in it. It does make a huge difference. I recommend screwing with your SM57s for more fun. So I've just got that on the snare top. I've got a Lewitt tom mic. It's a percussion mic, but it's more used for toms, but I just kind of threw that on the snare bottom and it actually picks up the snares and a little more fatness, which I like. I use the Vanguard small diaphragm condensers for my overheads. I use the Vanguard Audio V44S stereo mic for my room that's in mid-side. That I will never change ever again. That microphone I'm gonna bring with me to like any room I record in. I'm just gonna like force an engineer to use it or at least try it. For the kick drum, right now I honestly have an SM58 in the kick, just pointed straight at the beater to get all that thwack that I need. It's awesome. And then I actually have a weird Golden Age Projects ribbon mic, the passive ribbon mic for the kick out. And that thing continues to surprise me too. So that's kind of, yeah, basically my setup right now. Today's session will be a song written by my good friend Jesse Charland, bass player of Hoobastank. We like to send each other tracks back and forth, and I found that this was a really dynamic song, so you get a really good feel for how my setup works. So typically I like to get at least one solid take that I'm happy with, but obviously punch-ins are cool too. So I'll bounce just an MP3 of my drums, kind of like mock mixed in with the scratch of whatever they sent me. And once we get to a place where we are satisfied with the performance and everything, then I will just send them the raw audio with no plugins, no panning, nothing like that. So now you've seen kind of what I'm doing here in my studio, and I hope you've taken something useful from it, and thanks for checking it out.